Final practice in Spa had a dramatic conclusion as Lewis Hamilton found the barriers at turn 13 after a steering snap took him into the gravel.
Oh, was it on an upshift there as well, and it's just added maybe a slight kick of torque there for Hamilton when he's already right on the edge on the second lap on those tyres. That is a potentially massive blow there for Hamilton. Ferrari got a lot of work to do to get that patched up. That is a race against time now for Ferrari.
We're okay, Lewis?
Yeah, I've destroyed the car, mate. Sorry.
No problem.
Up until that moment, it had been a reasonable session for the 7-time champ, who'd made a promising start to his Spa weekend, finishing P2 in first practice. His earlier laps prior to the crash were good enough for P5. Teammate Charles Leclerc finished P6 after a bit of a scruffy session, the Monegasque frequently fighting his Ferrari on his qualifying simulation runs. Having struggled for performance in FP1, Kimi Antonelli showed a marked improvement in second practice, bagging the fastest lap of the day, and he was again the quickest man on track in final practice. His best lap clocked at 1 minute 45.990. No such luck for Mercedes teammate George Russell, who languished in P8 at the flag yesterday, unable to unlock his Silver Arrow's full potential. He complained again of a lack of power on the straights, this time out finishing fourth. Lando Norris finished Friday in P2 but wasn't getting carried away with that, suggesting McLaren were probably the fourth fastest car. He went a little wide exiting turn 14 in this session, flirting with the gravel, but he was again second quickest. A new electronics power unit fitted to his MCL40 means he'll face a 10-place grid drop on Sunday anyway, no matter where he finishes in qualifying. Oscar Piastri's Friday running was curtailed by a hydraulic issue, unable then to challenge the top times. P7 this time out. Oscar with work to do ahead of quali. Max Verstappen topped the timing tables in the first hour of Friday practice, and despite falling back a little later on, felt satisfied that he'd maximised the Red Bull package. In the session, the 4-time champ went very wide at turn 9, spraying some stones, but thankfully staying mostly away from the track. He was P3 at the flag. Isaac Hadjar has taken new parts this weekend, enough to drop him to the back of the grid on Sunday. He's putting his shiny new RB22 through its paces, scraping the floor over the curbs at the exit of turn 7. Later, he got himself stranded in a tricky place.
No power. Oh my god. I stalled.
Yeah, there's clearly just a power unit issue where he's just run out of revs, and then you're going to just stall the car when you can't keep it going. So at least Hadjar, they've been able to push it back and see if there is some simple fix.
Once back out on track, he felt blocked by the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. P10 for the Frenchman today. Audi have had a very decent, if relatively quiet, session. Their drivers occupying P8 and P9 with Nico Hülkenberg ahead of teammate Gabriel Portoletto this time around. Racing Bulls are a little lopsided this weekend, with Arvid Lindblad giving upgrades to test out, which seemed to have borne fruit. The British driver was faster than Liam Lawson yesterday and was again quicker in FP3, although he took a wide line through turn 9 at one point, touching the loose stuff. He finished P11, one better than Lawson. Despite Pierre Gasly's crash in FP2, Alpine were happy with their lap times up until that point and were planning to change the Frenchman's power unit for Saturday anyway, but the mechanic still had a bigger job than they would have liked to get his A526 ready for final practice. He managed P15 this time out. Franco Colapinto nabbed the best of the rest title in FP2, P7, and crucially for the team, ahead of both Racing Bulls. Not so today, although he was 3 places higher than his French teammate. The Williams team feel they've fallen back a touch in recent races. Chief trackside engineer Paul Williams says they've been leapfrogged by Haas. Alex Albon was their top driver today, P16, 2 places below the best Haas performer, Oliver Behrman. Carlos Sainz was P18. He found traffic at the end of the Kemmel Straight in the shape of Valtteri Bottas. The boot was on the other foot for the Finns' Cadillac teammate Sergio Perez, who encountered cars when going through Blanchimont at speed. The Mexican driver not happy with his fellow participants. So it finished Antonelli top from Norris, Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, Leclerc and Piastri. Then came the Audi duo of Hülkenberg and Portoletto. Hadjar completes the top 10. P11 for Lindblad, and he was ahead of Lawson, Colapinto, Behrman, Gasly, Albon, Bottas, Sainz, Ocon, Perez, Alonso and Stroll.